telling you. And you put yours right next to his, and I guarantee you they're the exact same spot every time. It's like a machine. That takes me about an hour. I tell you, mine are all crooked and sideways and spaced. Yeah, you don't want me doing it. Anyway. We all have our talents, right? I just mine's not tabs and.
590.
Yeah, 590. It's 590.4 or 5 somewhere in there. It was a change for the 2011, but now it's just going to be just regular print Windows.
What is the tab for temporary go? 3.
Right where the 590 temporary tag is.
That's 547.
Oh, is that temperature?
That is.
It's a super installation.
Oh, there's 2 of them for temp.
Well, that's for something. How does that say temp? I don't know why I said temp on that, but it's not. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. We're looking for 590.6, is it, or 0.4?
590.6.
Yeah, 590. It's on page 541.6, number 3. You say? Yeah, down right there, bottom right-hand corner of the page, down the very bottom. And so your 20 amp and your 30 amp outlets are also going to be GFCI protected now.
Yeah.
And this is cord sets is also a test question as well. So there's nothing in that test question that a keyword would help you out with, right?
Hell no.
Yeah.
So if you were to try a keyword on generator or a keyword on the GFCIs, you'd be looking for it forever. And it's a pretty simple question, but they do those, you know, in a percentage of them. Not all of them will be like that, but they do it just because they want to make sure that you can look at a context clue like that and be able to say, okay, well, if I've got, you know, temporary, if I've got a generator, I'm using it for temporary power, and temporary power is really the clue there. So I know it's kind of vague to do that to you, but anyway. The next one down here is, so the answer to that one's going to be number 4. The next one down there is a multi-conductor flat cable containing number 4 AWG or larger. Then it had a ground conductor marked with a raised question mark. How many of you guys started with Article 342, is it? 342 is that flat FCC cable?
200 nuts.
That's, well, yeah, that's where you find the answer, yeah. How many of y'all started with 342? Under the, did you guys do these last night?
Yeah.
Where did you start at? I mean, just out of curiosity.
Index.
Flat cable. Flat cable.
Yeah, we started the index.
Flat cable assembly.
Yeah, I mean, it really.
Well,
This
Article
is
200 is use and identification of grounded conductors. So.
Yeah, but here's the thing, most of the people are looking at this test question as the FCC being kind of the keyword. That's what you're drawn to when you look at this question, is this FCC kind of stands out like a sore thumb. So, but that's not what, and you're right.
No, most of the time I start at the, right here.
I went 322 120.
Yeah, if you're looking at that test question, it looks like they're asking you primarily about the FCC, so that's really kind of the keyword you're trying to zone in on. But it's really a question that's asking you about the neutral and the marking of it. So it's really, this in this case is a good example of identifying exactly which part of the question is you know, the keyword or the important part of it. So it's really a grounded conductor, or i.e. a neutral marking. And he's correct, it's in Article 200, so it's not going to be an installation question under Chapter 3. It'll be a marking of neutrals under 200.6E, I think, is it?
Yeah.
200.6. You got a page number to go with that, anybody?
54.
Page 54. There's not very many color codes in the code book as far as color coding wire. The only questions I'm aware of, and I'll give you the list real quick and you can just kind of write them down in your notes. There's a heating cable question that asks you about what voltage value is blue color.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was the wrong page. It's 50.
Page 50. So write these down real quick, would you guys? All right, so orange for high leg. So if you have a question asking for the high leg or the leg that's got the largest potential ground, that's going to be orange in color. A blue colored heating cable has a voltage value of 208 volts. Heating. And then of course your ground and bonding is going to either be yellow or yellow with a yellow tracer.
Say the blue one again?
208 volts is the rating for.
One is this high.
That is blue?
Yeah. It's a heating cable, and the question is asking you, in a heating cable assembly, the conductor with the blue coating will be which following voltages. 120, 240, 208, it's a 208 volt is what that blue is. So if you get a heating cable, you can hook them up depending on what voltage value you have. We use the blue one if you're on a 208 volt system.
Oh, okay.
But it's not the blue like you'd have running a THWN or something, it's within a heating cable assembly, but they don't make it real clear.
Okay.
So, but it's 208 volt, and that's under Article 424 dot,
I've never heard that before.
yeah, I think that's why they use it. There's a bunch of, I don't know why they think you guys have to know so much about fixed electric space heating, but I tell you, there's probably about a dozen and a half questions out of this little article. 424 dot,
28?
yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, dot 35 on page 311. There's a list of 5 of them: orange, brown, red, blue, and yellow. But primarily, we don't color code by code the phase conductors. It's done by either HJ, or in some cases like Pflugerville doesn't even have a phase coding system they use. They just require you that you use the same color coding throughout the whole system installation. But you walk into one building downtown, in the next building be a different color code. It's just that the code is silent on that because it's up to us as electricians to identify them, use that identification throughout the whole system. But they're not going to relegate us to a specific color coding because there's nothing wrong with using pink for B phase if that's what you feel like doing. So, but you just have to use pink throughout the entire system for that same. You don't want to mix them up, within that system. All right. Orange for the high leg, which is a rule that you'll see both in 408, but also in 110, somewhere early on. And then the other color coding is going to be green, or green with a yellow tracer for a grounding question, and a couple of questions, but they're asking you which of the following conductor is permissible for identifying the grounding conductor, and it would be either green or green with a yellow tracer stripe. And then a black triangle for an isolated ground is the other color code question that it asks. It's not a wire color code, it's a marking on a isolated grounding receptacle. So it is a
And an orange receptacle is possible.
orange.
No, it's a little green dot.
Yeah, can't remember what the off the top of my head. Let me look it up real quick. The receptacle of one is going to be in 406 dot. It's orange triangle. It's on 281. It's 406.3D. Isolated ground receptacles have a orange triangle located on the face of the receptacle, so it's an orange triangle. I said black. It's an orange triangle. And then I think you're right. That 517's got a color code on the receptacles, and I think that it may actually be a new change too, if I'm not mistaken. There was a 406.3D was the one I just mentioned. 36 receptacles. No, that was an add-on. Is there a color code? Yeah, no, there it is. Hospital grade, identified hospital grade is what it is. So it's receptacle requirements just have to be listed as hospital grade and identified as such.
What's that one?
467 under 517.19.2 B2. And then white or gray are your ground mid conductor markings, and that's going to be 200 is what we're talking about in that section. So the grounding stuff, some of you will find in 250, some of you find kind of mixed in some other places, but primarily 250, and a lot of it kind of toward the back. Green or a green hex head screw is another one. So if you look on 250.122, that's going to be most of your markings for grounds. 250.122, at the bottom of the table, there's a list of the coloring of EGCs. Page number, on page 131, green, not readily removable terminal screw, hexagonal, not readily removable terminal nut, or green marking, or the word green or ground, or the letter G or GR, so on and so forth. And right down at the bottom, just put green with a yellow tracer thread, and that's going to be the other color code marking. That actually comes in Article 400, which is a flexible cord rule for marking the ground beam conductor in a flexible cord. Okay. The reference to that one would be neutral is.
I'm not really hearing what you're saying. I'm trying to mark.
Yeah, I'm mumbling.
No, you mean before that?
No, I mean like I'm marking more than I'm listening. Okay.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
that's not a bad thing, right?
I don't know.
As long as you're writing it down right, then no, I'm just saying, all right, so color codes, there's not that many color codes in the book, but here, that was a litany list of, just so you, if you run across a question asking you about any kind of color, orange is a highlight, right? White or gray, or something of that, mix, and I don't think there's, no, they added something that's actually, new, this, actually, come to think of it, is blue. As a,
For the heater?
no, not for a heater, for,
22 volts in a panel.
yeah, that's right. But I think they made it, I saw that in a code change, actually. Is there one, is it right there in 200? Did you have any code changes there that was in the neutral conductor? Grounded, grounded? I've got it marked, I think, in my book, but,
Right here, 200.6.
yeah, there was something there that I saw somewhere there.
3 continuous white or gray.
I'll look that up. There's something in my back of my head nagging me that there's another color code they added for that grounded conductor somewhere. But anyway, so for the most part though, a neutral is going to be either white or gray, and it's spelled out in 200. So 200.6 being the conductor's larger than number.
It's in Article 200?
Yeah, 200, straight up 200.
So the gray, yeah, gray stripes.
Yeah, or gray stripes. So 200.6 being sizes that are larger than 6 AWG. Your smaller ones are going to be under
200.7.
dot 4 A and B. Nope, sorry. Yeah, this is. Number 6 are smaller, I'm sorry. A is smaller, B is the larger, number 4 larger, excuse me, I got backwards. I was trying to go the other direction. Dot 4, B is 4 larger, and then A is 6 and smaller. Okay, and then the blue being a heating cable, and that's the 208 volts. And then an orange triangle on the face receptacle for an isolated ground receptacle device. And what else is that?
Ground, green.
And the ground being the green tracer, and that is 400 dot, on the flexible cord, that green tracer one is under 400.23. Under A, braid finished to show continuous green color or continuous green color with one or more yellow stripes.
That orange triangle is on what now?
Isolated ground receptacles.